Performance analysts repeatedly encounter situations that are greatly aided by the capability to easily view relationships between the metrics. Let's begin with a ZDC hardware compression example. Here we're experiencing some high accelerator queue times, so let's explore this. So drilling into this exception by system, we can see which systems are experiencing this higher queue time, and from understanding this environment, recognize this is a really test and small batch systems. But let's look into it in some more detail in any case. So let's look at this system, and here we just see all the a set of mini charts of all the metrics that are in that chart, so we can at a glance look at the relationships between the various metrics. And so what we recognize before we even look at the queue time, what we recognize right off is that almost all the activity on this system is decompression. There's very, very little compression activity going on. So let's look at these queue times, and let's compare that with the rate of decompression requests. And so we'll put that on a different axis because it has a different unit of measure. So we can see that when there's a lot of decompression activity going on, the queue time is basically 0. So that we can see by comparing, bringing these two metrics together, that this issue is probably not of significance, because it's not happening when there's significant activity going on. Now, one of the most frequent activities of a performance analyst is seeking to identify cause and effect, which is greatly facilitated by the capability to easily view the relationships between various metrics. So let's look at this set of mini charts for a coupling facility structure. It's a DB2 lock structure in this case. So initially at a glance we can see that the rate of queued requests is an exception, and we'll come back to that in a minute. And then also we look at the activity rates here. The rate of asynchronous requests is far higher. So let's start with the service time. Here we can see it's relatively consistent, except there's this bump here at this time of the day. So we noticed that there was an exception earlier with the queue requests. So let's see if there's a relationship, a correlation between the two. So again, we can select any variable in this whole area of coupling facility, a variable or variables, to see the relative relationships. So as I put that on a separate axis, we can see that indeed the service time does go up when there are a lot of requests being queued, which is intuitive, but this demonstrates it. We saw a little bit of a bump on the service time for the synchronous requests as well, and let's see if that relates as well, correlates as well, and indeed it does. So again, the ability to bring together whatever variables we want to be able to bring together to look at cause and effect relationships is a very important capability.